previously on Dual Spirit Adventures, I went through a colorful town, spent the New Year's on a beach, rode over a bridge, some Chevys slowing traffic, bore witness to an accident, broke a Triumph supply tool, stomped over some mud, rode a cable car, to random people taking your picture and wishing you luck. We were now stuck in traffic on our way to Cocora Valley. So, Cocora Valley. There was just one road leading up to this valley, and the whole of Colombia were on it. But that was no problem for me Triumph. If you still think motorcycle isn't the best way to travel, think again. Speaking of motorcycles, Colombia had a weird rule where the rider and the passenger had to have license plate numbers plastered on the helmet and the jacket. Although here, it appears that the jackets were interchanged. Pretty weird, isn't it? I was now in Salento, the gateway to Cocora Valley. As mentioned before, the population of the whole country, all 50 million of them, were in this small town, Salento. Let alone navigating through the traffic, there was not even a hotel for us to stay for the night. The struggle bus was real, haha. Anyway, we branched off of the main road in search of a way out and, most importantly, accommodation for the night. The beaten path had a cute bridge to ride over. We stopped for a picture. The beaten path turned out to be more beaten than we had imagined. And even worse, it led to someone's property, so we had to turn around. Eventually though, we got out of the craziness, ended up in the next town, and was still struggling to find a hotel. That's when this couple stopped their run to help us find one. Negotiated with different hotels to find a best deal for us, made sure we were safe, and walked to guide us where to park our bikes. How nice of them. So obviously, we did the right thing and bought them dinner. The following day though, we did manage to get into the valley. Traffic wasn't any better, but at least it was moving. So Cocora Valley is home to wax palm trees, which is also the national tree of Colombia. We started our hike into the valley. The views were great, but it was the middle of the day and it was hot. Me hiking wearing my riding pants didn't help with the heat either. Then I went about tiptoeing over this dodgy bridge, a tricky one to cross. In all honesty, it wasn't as dramatic as I'm making it sound here. What was dramatic though was the return journey. Since I had no camera crew, I had to come back to pick my GoPro. I got a little impatient and also slightly worried that my camera might be stolen. I chose not to take the bridge, and to my annoyance, my boots got submerged in water completely. Notice the wet boots? Yeah, I have myself to blame for this. A few minutes and wet boots later, I was back on the trail. And I included this footage just to annoy my roommates, who were paranoid of drinking stream water. Spoiler alert, I'm still alive and kicking. On our way south towards Cali, Colombia continued to impress me with their road trains. Now that was pretty cool. In Cali, I was a spectator to some local entertainment. These kids know how to make fun out of nothing. I mean, it's just a bunch of shopping baskets and a slope. They managed to attract quite some crowd. Moving south of Cali, we were headed to the Colombia-Ecuador border. On the way here, Colombia showed us how they transport motorbikes on a bus. I bet there is an easier way to transport bikes, but what do I know? And we were coming up on traffic jams, and the source of this traffic backup was rather unusual. Not so unusual though if you are from India. Anyway, we are now up in the mountains, and the best time for me to break out my drone. montage you watched took me from Cali to the border town Ipiales. After Ipiales, I'd have to leave Colombia to enter Ecuador. Colombia was a combination of beautiful scenery and nice people. Colombians just go out of their way to be nice to you. This is what makes the experience so much better. Sadly, it was time for me to leave Colombia and enter Ecuador. Or will I? Anyone here want to take a guess if I'll be able to enter Ecuador smoothly or not? Well, you will find out in the next installment of this series, Alaska to Argentina. Stay tuned.